Hello, everybody. It's your boy K10 here, coming at you with another episode of the Overkill Podcast. We're on episode 65, and I'm here with my boy Meta Knight,
What is up?
otherwise known as Iron Meta Frank.
Yep, I've gone by a lot
Uh,
of names over the years. A lot of names.
yeah, we missed last week. We were both kind of sick. We're still a little bit sick, but to a lesser extent this week.
Yeah.
Last week was very busy with Easter and all that, so. Uh, Yeah, but it was a good Easter weekend. It's pretty chill.
It was. It
We got a lot
was.
of rest. Hopefully y'all got a lot of rest.
Hopefully.
Uh, I guess I just jump right into it. I thought this
Shit.
was kind of a funny story, but a Call of Duty fan created a monkey bomb, and or maybe this is some. I think this might be some piece of merch. Uh, from the Call of Duty games, but he brought it in his backpack, uh, and TSA seized it because they obviously it looks, like there's TNT and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't believe it actually had any real TNT, but I think it's kind of funny. I guess
It almost looks like something that was handmade, but you can
I
clearly
don't know.
tell it's fake, but you know.
I think it's kind of funny. They say that it's in Black Ops 6, but I don't remember the monkey bomb being in this game.
I don't either. I almost want to say that it's probably there and we just don't remember.
It probably is. I think it might be only craft. It can only be crafted, maybe. That's probably why.
Yeah. Um Yeah, I mean y'all should really see this. Maybe I'll throw it up on the thumbnail, but I mean,
Yeah, they say according to the TSA guidelines on toy guns and weapons,
yeah.
generally they're permitted. However, like toy swords, items that resemble realistic firearms replica, such as hand grenades, are prohibited in
Mm.
both checked and carry-on baggage.
Well,
So,
I mean, I will just say, I get why they've confiscated it. I don't know if I necessarily agree with why they confiscated it. It doesn't look that realistic, but it's probably not something you should take on a plane. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll throw it up in the
oh,
thumbnail.
and the cats are going wild. But TSA also put this on Facebook as one of their prohibited items of the week. And they say, this monkey racks up points in game, but in real life, leave the gear for your loadout screen, not your baggage, replica weapons, and explosives. No matter how cool or collectible they
Wow.
aren't allowed in either carry-on or checked baggage.
So
So
they committed.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
They
bro.
committed
They
to it.
TSA. Someone at
Okay.
the TSA org knows what
Shit.
it is, which is kind of surprising, but.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they committed to the bit that much. All right. Well, I'm gonna shrink down Rusty's retirement. I guess. I guess while we're here, we might as well mention. Since we missed last week's episode, we're recording two in a row, so we'll see whenever all these come out. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be the Sunday one. So
Mm,
we're recording this on Saturday. I think this one's gonna come out Sunday, and the next one's gonna come out. I think I'll have it like posted on Wednesday. I think that's
okay.
how I'll do it, to where like it's kind of spaced out.
Mm,
And then next week we'll resume with our regular, one
regular
again.
programming. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll move on to speaking of stupid shit. Schedule 1 has an achievement called Indian Dealer. Now, a lot of people on Twitter, the Twitter freaks, have been trying to cancel Schedule One. Do you know what Schedule One is, Kirby?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of gameplay,
Okay,
but
so
not
it's
too
it's
much.
yeah, it's that game that has shitty graphics, and you're basically producing drugs, and you're running like an operation in a little city. You know how it goes. It's been canceled, and or it's been attempted to be canceled because of this achievement called Indian Dealer, and that is a callback to a old saying called Indian Giver. What had happened is, whenever the settlers first came to America, the Indians gave them some land to settle on, and the land was basically useless, and so it was called Indian Giver because they were kind of giving them a gift, but it wasn't really a gift. And you get the achievement in game by giving someone the drugs and then pickpocketing the drugs back. Um, and that has been enough for. Let me cough a little bit. That has been enough for people to try to cancel the game. There's also an achievement where there is one drug that changes the gender of the person after they smoke it. And that achievement is called Jennerizing, obviously after Caitlyn Jenner as a meme. And she, whatever you want to say, is probably the most popular trans person. So it's obviously a joke. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the developer is being malicious? Do you think it's just funny? What's up?
Nah, I think he's just funny. I mean, the game is kind of a meme in and of itself, and I'm surprised it's gotten like as big as it has. Because to me, it looks very much like an asset flip. But
Mm. Mm-hmm.
you know, it's one of these games that I don't. I think it's made by one guy or maybe a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I can see why other people would. I don't think you should get that offended on stuff like this.
On behalf of someone else, yeah. I don't think many people are offended. From what I can tell, it's dozens of them that are offended on Twitter. It seems like even a lot of the Native American people are not very offended either. There is a gamer group, I forget what they're called, but they're essentially a bunch of Native Americans on Twitter that have gotten together to form a little club, and they're the ones that have raised the stink about it. But it seems like the majority of people, even Native Americans, don't seem to care. But yeah, just something I thought I'd bring up. Seems like stupid news, just like the TSA. So I guess we can get into what do you want to do? COD Season 3?
Yeah, let's do some Call of Duty. We haven't covered this game in quite a while. I think Meta hasn't played too much of the new season,
Oh no, I don't even
or
know if I have
probably
Call
not
of
at
Duty
all.
installed anymore. Let me see.
Base. Um, I have
Oh, I
played
do.
the new season. Mainly just played Duketown and playing with a couple of the new weapons. Um, I do gotta say, just to start off, uh, they brought back so far in the game. They've brought in Barrage, Nomad, which is like a smaller map, and then Firing Range, of course. So you always got to bring back Firing Range.
Of course,
That's
you
a
can't have a
classic.
COD game without it, dude. Got to be in every single
And then
one.
they're bringing back a submarine looking map. This looks like the one from. It looks like one from Cold War, but I don't think it is. It's called Signal.
Okay.
I don't think it's from Cold War though.
Why does that
But
sound familiar though?
I don't know. There's been like 1,000 maps in COD. So
Yeah.
um,
Shit.
other than that, Verdansk did return for Warzone, which I know has been a big thing. I know a lot of people have been enjoying that and playing that.
Oh, Signal's its own map.
It hasn't
Okay.
gotten me. It hasn't gotten me to return, but
Well, I saw
it is
you
what it is.
playing. What were you playing? Were you just playing a little bit of multiplayer to wet your whistle?
Yeah, it was mainly just ship or Nuketown.
Mm.
But I was playing with the new weapon, well, quote unquote new weapon, the Kilo. They added it back from the original Warzone. They also added the HDR, which I believe you both. Well, the HDR you get in page 11 of the Battle Pass
Mm.
or the blueprint for it, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's you unlock it at page 3, and then you get the AMAX at page 6.
Okay.
So again, they're just bringing back weapons from Verdansk into the season.
Mm.
Um, and then there's going to be this mid-season, the Larda SMG. Actually looks pretty interesting. I think it's, yeah, extreme fire rate, excellent range, low recoil. So it's probably going to be a pea shooter.
All right. They love adding those. They really do. I don't know how many pea shooters they've added to the game, but fuck me. Anytime there's a new gun, it's always a fucking pea shooter.
They've also added back the nail gun. I know it says in season
Did anyone
on this,
care?
but I know it's in the game because I've died to it. It's super annoying. What are you saying? Did anyone care that what?
Does anyone care about the nail gun?
Nah, dude. I think a lot of people like it. I don't know why.
Really?
They always just bring it back.
Maybe it's just a meme. Maybe they just like it.
It
It's bad,
it
right?
was originally in Black Ops 3, and then they brought it back for Cold War, and they brought it back for this game. So I don't know. I guess people like it.
Okay.
It's a good. I believe it's in. Yeah, it's in the special category. So it's like it's a secondary weapon. So instead of having a pistol, you can have a nail gun, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And then lastly, I kind of want to talk about this SWAT 556 Grau conversion kit. This is actually this made the SWAT specifically with this conversion kit. It's the best weapon in the game right now, hands down. And in multiplayer, at least. I don't know about Warzone, but in multiplayer, that gun's the best now. Other than that, I mean, season's pretty typical. I got to play the new Zombies map too, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't get to build like the Wonderwaff, but the Wonderwaff's back. The Ray Gun Mark II's back. And you get these new toxic zombies.
Okay.
Instead of the dogs that once you kill them, they leave behind like a toxic goop. You can't step in it for like 10 seconds or so. You got the Elder Disciple. What is it? Yeah, the Elder Disciple. Ooh, epic.
Ooh.
Which I'm pretty sure is a returning mob from Cold War.
Okay.
But a little bit, I think it works a little bit different. Yeah, I mean, Shatterville, it seemed like a zombie set that you could get into. The pack punch, you don't have to do anything crazy to unlock it. You just have to get to the underground area, which you guess basically you kind of just get guided through how to get there. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Also, they added double tap back.
Okay.
And a couple of the augments for it definitely are really good. And I think it's a must-buy perk. It's really fun. I think it feels like it almost doubles your fire rate. So it's definitely worth picking up.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's about it for this.
COD changes. Man, I don't know. I guess that's
We can
cool.
move on if you want. My guy's not big into Call of Duty.
No, not anymore. I said, wow, that's cringe. Yeah, I guess let's move on. I'm excited for the new zombies map. I always am. Zombie's been pretty good this year. I guess since we're talking about returning to games and games that I've been playing and thinking about, Hat in Time. I went back and played it. I went and did some of the secret hourglass levels that I had unlocked. Relearned the controls, redid some parkour. I'm slowly working my way up to unlocking all the perks and all the cosmetics and stuff, and basically 100%ing my original playthrough. Oh my goodness!
Bless you.
I do believe it's time to go back and give it a full playthrough. I know you were really in love with Hat in Time. What happened? What do you think of the Hat in Time right now? Is it a game you're ever gonna go back and play? What's up? What's up? What happened to your
I
love?
definitely gotta replay it. I gotta get back into it. It was one of the most creative platformers that I've played in a long time.
Damn right.
Um, and one of the most like masterfully crafted ones. And I don't know, it's so cute. If you guys haven't played it, you gotta try A Hat in Time. Um, if you're a fan of platformers, it's definitely, I think it's one of the best like indie ones
One of
that's
the
ever come out.
best.
Because usually whenever it comes to like indie platformers, they're either like not polished enough or they never get released. Because especially like 3D platformers, um, a lot of indie developers don't have time to make 3D games. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really special. Or I don't know if it's like considered indie really, because I think it was made by
Um,
quite a few people.
I think it's technically still considered indie, but I mean, I don't know about the company nowadays. I know they've gotten so big, it's kind of questionable.
Yeah, I don't remember if I actually beat the game though.
Really?
I feel like I might have beaten.
That
Uh,
is shocking, actually. And I still speak to you? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I definitely got really far into it, but I don't remember beating it. You know?
Oh man, yeah, that's a good question. I don't actually remember. Um,
'Cause I might have beaten. And the thing too is, I might have beaten the base game and not done the DLC. That might be it too. Um, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean the DLC is pretty short. It's just like an additional world. So I don't know if you remember like beating any of the other worlds, but the DLC was basically just one more world. And it was a pretty like good world. Like the puzzles were more advanced and it was a lot more like there was a lot more complications and stuff involved, but I don't know if it was like super. Ooh, I don't know if it was like super vital that like you beat the DLC. But yeah, it's a good game. I think you should go back and play it. If anyone hasn't played it, I think you should. It really. I went back and played Donkey Kong 64, actually with Kirby watching a few days ago, and I have to say, really, 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 really impressed with that game once again. Just a good old school game. It's really hard to be mad at, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
Base.
So you're gonna go back and play it, and everyone that's listening is gonna go play Hat in Time.
Yes.
One of the best games ever made. And if they don't, I'm gonna show up in the backyards, staring in the windows, waiting for them.
Bro. Uh, I
You think that's a joke?
think with that, we'll move on.
You think I would kid? All right.
The
Anyways,
Nintendo Switch 2 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom
Oh
ports
man,
look to
yeah.
set out to fix one of the two game's most divisive features
Oof. Yep.
via a mobile app. Okay,
Oh.
so we all know that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom they had uh, this issue. Well, I mean it wasn't really an issue for me at least. Um, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. Of the weapons that you would pick up in Breath of the Wild and Tears would both break at a certain point. Well,
Yes. Yes.
with this new port of the game, you can get a repair bonus, which is rewarded randomly and can be rolled every 24 hours in the mobile app. And I'm assuming this uses the Nintendo Switch 2 app on your phone, and you probably have to have Switch Online. Yeah, you have to have. Yeah. So, not great news here. I know this also just kind of segues into general Switch 2 hate, but what are your thoughts on specifically like using a mobile app and having to do all this just to get repairs for items in a game?
I don't like that at all. And you have to use the app?
Yeah, it's the only way to get repairs.
Really? But in the original you didn't. All right. Um I mean, look, don't you guys have phones? You know what I'm saying? I Blizzard callback. I guess I'm not a huge fan. I'm actually very anti forcing people to use their phone. I'm seeing the article says Switch 2 port finally lets you repair. Finally lets you, like it's a good thing. This is why journalism's so fucking cooked, bro. I'm telling you, this shit is fucked up. Finally, like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Man, does it really force you to use it?
I mean, yeah, if you don't want your weapons to break,
You
yeah.
can't do it in game?
Nope, no way to do it in game. Now, yeah, I have a big problem with this because I
So
hate anything
stupid.
that takes the player out of the game, makes you go like look up a wiki page or do this, like go onto a mobile app and fix it, or like go onto a mobile app and play stuff around or do other,
Yeah, that's
unless
dumb,
that's like
bro.
the whole unless that's like the whole gimmick of the game where you have like two screens or something, like, and it's kind of interesting, kind of like the Wii U. You shouldn't have like two different things that you're looking at, two different stimuli. No, just give me one, or you shouldn't be taking players out of the game. That's always annoying to me.
No, no.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, general Nintendo Switch 2 hate. If you actually look at inflation, the Switch 2 is actually should be priced at about like 350. So if you look at what other consoles used to be versus what they
Oh,
are
like
now,
specs and
Switch
stuff?
2 is like, no, what I'm saying is like how the old consoles were priced
Uh huh.
back in the day. If you look at what they are like in today's money, it's like 350.
Okay.
Plus old consoles used to get um marked down in price like about 2 years after launch. Nowadays, that never happens. The console price is always the same for like 5 years that it's out or whatever.
Oof. Okay, well, all
So,
right. Well, let's talk about this because I kind of want to get the room temp on what we're thinking about the Switch. I think you and I are both gonna get one, even though it's overpriced. But so some news came out that I didn't know about, and I'm actually really disappointed in this. But I guess I'm gonna put up with it because Nintendo is the only company making a console worth playing. So all the games that you bought will run at 60 from what I understand, but a lot of them have a $10 120 FPS frame upgrade that you can buy. And obviously that's docked. That's not handheld from what I understand. I believe handheld is always 60 FPS, but maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, this is yeah, I did actually find this out too. And also I don't know if all Switch 1 games actually work with the Switch 2 like backwards compatible mode. I haven't heard any news on that.
Mm.
But I thought all the Switch 1 games are playable, but if you want the 120, yes, you do have to pay.
Yeah. So
Which is not great.
there's a 120 $10 upgrade. Let me see for the games I have. Let's see. I don't think Smash is included, but I think it's Breath of the Wild, the second Zelda game. I think that's one $10 purchase for both. I think Mario Kart might be one. I think I don't think there's too many games that I own that require this $10 upgrade. I think it's mostly the games that they want to make a quote unquote Switch 2 game. So games they want to carry over. I don't think they want any carryover from things like Mario Kart because the new one's coming out and they always want you to buy the new one. Um, I guess I'm a little disappointed that Nintendo would fuck us this bad. Um, I I guess Nintendo to me has always been kind of a sacred company in that like yes, their practices have gotten worse over the years. But they've always had things like they took forever to make you pay for online. The first time you had to pay for online was on the Switch. And you know, companies before that had been doing that 10 years before. And then if you bought the super special edition like I did, you got the DLC for the games that you owned forever. So I got the Mario Kart 8 DLC. I got the Pokemon Shield DLC, both of them for the $50 a year. I basically got three DLCs for $50, which in my opinion was worth it. And I was willing to forgive Nintendo for such transgressions, but slowly over time, they're kind of becoming pretty toxic in their own unique way. I've never heard of a company charging $10 for an FPS upgrade. Have you?
No, yeah, no, that's really scummy. Um, you know,
It's like a new
I
form
think
of fucking us.
yeah. I mean,
If
yeah,
I
I kind of
excuse
agree
my
with most of
French,
what you
but
said.
it's like
I
a
mean,
new
yeah, I agree
form
with
of
like
screwing us.
I agree with most of what you said. It's just, for me to whenever they did the whole paying for online thing, I know a lot of people were angry about that. But to be honest, I was willing to give them the money for the online, and they even gave you like a year free of online with the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave if you bought it, like
Wasn't a
year
bad
one or whatever
deal.
you got like almost a year and a half or almost 2 years, I think, of like on Switch 2 online for
Yeah,
free,
shit. It wasn't a bad
and
deal at
then
all.
and a lot of people were angry about that, but Nintendo was the last company ever to have you pay for online. Um,
It's true.
and so, and plus, on top of that, it was only like $20, right? It was $20 a year. It wasn't that bad. And then if you wanted to, you could buy the extra edition and get some extra perks, which
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the biggest fan of. I always thought it should just be one model, but I could understand it, and I wasn't angry about it. Um, and yeah, I mean, with the Switch 2, they've really gone, I think, mask off in terms of the pricing of things. I don't know. I don't know why exactly. Um, and they just, yeah, I think it's really one of those things where it's like they know that the consumers will pay anyways. and I think they're just kind of taking advantage of that.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
so.
also with the Switch, I
I
think with
don't
the
know.
Switch 2, I mean, if you think about it, you buy the Switch 2, let's say you get it bundled with the game, so you pay $500 for the bundle for Mario Kart 8, right?
Sure.
If you want to play online, you gotta spend an extra, what, $30, $20? So you're paying almost 520 for a console and a game.
Oof.
And that's if you get bundled, so you get,
Yeesh.
a little bit less on the game taken off.
Hey, this is a hot take, but I just want to say this. So a coworker of mine and I are really old, or he's really old school, and he only uses a computer for Google. He's in his like 80s, 70s, right? He's old. And him and I went into a pawn shop, okay? And he bought a computer for his wife. Now, this computer did not have a graphics card, but what it did have is it had an i5. It had 60 gigs of RAM. It had a pretty good motherboard on it. Had some good fans. It was a gaming computer that someone had bought, and they had removed the graphics card. To be quite frank, that's what it was, and you could tell because the graphics card slot in the back of the computer was removed. Well, also at this pawn shop, they had a nice, and I mean nice ass, like glass PC. They were selling it for $350. It didn't have a graphics card, but it had a modern motherboard in it, probably like what I have, the Acer 580, something like that, right? It was nice. It had a hard drive, it had a SSD. It seemed like it had 16 gigs, probably at least. I think I have 32 on this PC, but I had 16. It was a nice rig. Like if you bought like a 2080 for it, or even like a 3080 or whatever, you'd be really really happy. And it was only 350. Now obviously this is resale. Someone had bought it. Someone had taken out the graphics card. Someone had obviously pawned it for not a lot of money. But I just have to say, like, shit. I mean, they're asking for the Switch, like they're asking a lot of money for this thing, and then on top of that, and they're finally catching up with consoles that came out 8 years ago. I mean, or 10 years ago. We're talking like Xbox One, PlayStation 4 Pro. Like we're talking about consoles that could handle 4K 120 or 60 years ago, and they want 550 for it. And I understand how inflation works, but I'm just saying this is a lot of money for essentially a PC that I could go get for. I could get one without a graphics card and then buy a graphics card for 500, and I could play a lot of games at 4K 60 with that.
Yeah,
Am I
and a wider
crazy?
variety of games.
Am I
No,
crazy
no,
on that?
you're not. Like,
Like
you can play a
I'm just
wider
saying,
variety of games
like
too.
going
Like,
secondary market, you can build a PC that's better than a Switch 2. Maybe
yeah,
not better,
I
but
mean, you
very
can even,
close.
you can even get like a Steam Deck too, if you wanted to go that route. If you wanted something
I
portable on
honestly
that.
might get both. I love this. The
I
Steam
mean,
Deck is kind of tempting.
yeah. Uh, I mean, yeah, you can. If you buy Steam Deck, there's a $400 one. Now, granted, it's not 4K. It's 1080p. It looks like it has about comparable battery life. You can get the 60 hertz one or a 90 hertz one. You know, I mean, but you do get a greater library of games. That's the thing too. Is like the thing about the Switch 2 is I'm not buying it for what it has right now. Because to be honest, I'm not really hyped about Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart's cool and all.
I mean, yeah, we're
And
gonna
I
play
like,
Mario Kart no matter what, right?
I like to play Mario Kart, but it's not a game that you can sink hours into. You know, you play it a couple times and you're like, this is cool, and you move on to something else.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's I don't think it's a great launch title
We're
to
not
launch
like
with.
13, where like the same thing keeps us entertained forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's that, but it's also like it's not really a single player
Yeah, give me a
type
sec.
game. I mean, it technically is, but um, you know, you play it a few times and you're done. It's not Breath of the Wild. I think they should have launched with some sort of like Mario Odyssey 2 or that Donkey Kong game. Maybe they should have pushed it back, but yeah.
Honestly, I think they should have waited for Mario Party. For as much as I love Donkey Kong, people don't care that much about Donkey Kong. I mean, Donkey Kong's a cool IP, but I don't think he's a mainstay IP for like the normies.
Yeah, he's not, but I'm just saying they should have had like some sort of platformer
Sorry,
open
y'all.
world game. Some sort of like even Smash, I don't know, any kind of game like that has like a lot of replay value. I feel like that would have been a better launch title.
Do we know who's heading up the new Smash? It's not Sakurai anymore, right?
Ooh, no, that is a good question.
I think it's
I have
his
no idea.
apprentice, isn't it?
If you want to talk about this, I know there was a leak that I saw
I mean, fuck it, we're
where
here.
it was basically the leak was saying that it's going to be basically Smash Ultimate Part 2 in terms
Okay.
of everyone's going to be here.
We
And
use the Switch 2.
It's
Makes
going to
sense.
include a lot more it's going to include a lot more, you know, third-party characters. The stage count is going to be, it says 50 to 55 stages. I don't believe it. It's currently going to be,
Sorry, y'all.
it says it's going to come out summer 2026.
Okay.
Waluigi, Toon Zelda, Noah and Neo, Soul Bad Guy, Crash Bandicoot. I don't even know how to say this.
Is Crash
Paper
in the game right
Mario.
now?
Yeah.
He's not, right?
And then Paper Mario will be, no, he's not. Sorry, Paper Mario will be DLC for day one buyers, like Piranha Plant was for Smash Ultimate.
Wow.
Supposedly that's the leak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I mean, I'm excited
And it
Crash
says-
is finally in there or whatever. That's cool.
It says all the rosters coming back. Sakurai wanted to make some cuts, but Bandai Namco and Nintendo decided not to in the end. So apparently Sakurai is
Bandai.
heading up this game.
Bandai is working closely. Wow, yeah, I imagine they tried to hold on to him because Sakurai has been such a huge asset to them. I mean, I don't think Nintendo would be where it is today without Sakurai, but man, I thought they'd let him go in peace because he's wanted to leave forever. He's getting old, man. All right.
Some people are saying this leak is really fake. I mean, of course, take this leak with like a huge, massive grain of salt.
Yeah, I don't even know
the
if
game isn't.
Crash is in. I mean, that just seems wild. I feel like Crash would have been in the last game.
Yeah, I could see maybe like Soul Bad Guy, I guess. I don't know though. I don't know about that leak. Waluigi, I definitely think is gonna be.
I mean,
in
I
that
don't know.
Smash game.
Bandai owns Tekken, Pac-Man. They own a lot of characters in the game, so I mean, maybe
Yeah,
they're right. Maybe they're right. I don't know.
I feel like there is gonna be cuts though. Like it being everyone
has
is
to
here part 2. Like that
There's
was a
too
cool
many Echo
gimmick.
Fighters.
That was like a cool gimmick because we hadn't seen so many of those characters for like multiple games in like almost 15 years. I think like some of them were absent for like 13, 15 years around there. So it was crazy whenever you saw Pichu and you saw Young Link, and you saw Ice Climbers and the classics from even Brawl. Like Wolf being back was crazy.
Yeah.
It was dope. But if it was just like Everyone Is Here Part 2, I just don't think it would have that big of an impact.
Yeah, I don't
And
either.
honestly, the character select screen is going to be so hard to pick what character you want to play as. Like, it already is
Man.
with how many characters they have
How
now.
many characters is it? Like 70? There's a lot. I did the math.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like 83 or something like that.
Oh, dude. It's impossible to pick. It's impossible to pick, bro.
It's going to be like the Smash fan games that have every character possible ever that's
Shit.
playable.
Shit.
Uh,
Well, I don't know.
or
Maybe.
like no, every character is a single pixel.
Man.
But yeah,
Well, maybe
that's about it.
yeah, maybe maybe we'll talk about it next pod, but I kind of want to talk about maybe the value of Nintendo and playing some Nintendo games solo and stuff. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and record the next episode. I hope y'all have enjoyed. It is late at night, so this should be a chill episode. I've been listening to some hot lo-fi. I have been Iron Meta Frankie, and I'm here with
Your BDK, baby. It's been a great episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, peace.
In the Middle East.